I am Doomsvince, and this is day 94 of Spawn Year.
Well, last time I tried a 3-sentence review, I got sent back into the open grave, so I guess I'd better do my best to make a proper review here, even though I really haven't got much to say. There's just not much to this issue. And worse, the point of view character is a completely unrelatable, detestable human being who is treated oddly almost as the hero of the story, and who I am already predisposed to dislike and be wholly uninterested in because she only exists as a cheap, ill-conceived way to change Al Simmons' backstory. It would already take a pretty outstanding story to sell Jessica Priest to me as a villain in a Spawn story, but the lead in her own tale? And we're not talking about an exploration of the damaged psyche of a broken human being. This isn't Henry Portrait of a Serial Killer. This is a bad person whose talent for murder is exploited by another bad person, a corrupt government agency head with your standard supervillain ambitions of world domination. I mean, okay, Jason Wynn's never said that, but he studied and was compared directly to Genghis Khan. And then she's kidnapped by a couple more bad people who she was supposed to execute for Wynn, and mad scientists, because there aren't enough of those in Spawn comics already, who extract DNA samples from her as a part of their massive genetic engineering plot, because there aren't enough of those in Spawn comics either. These crazy twins want to pull the classic Bond villain plot of wiping out humanity and starting over, create a new, better human race to replace the flawed, primitive one we have now. They want to use the Heat-16 weapon to eradicate everything. I guess it's some enormous explosive held inside a tiny capsule, and then introduce their genetically superior man into the ecosystem. Like Star Trek's eugenics war, except without the war part. If they were to succeed, the Supermen would take over without any resistance. Well, Jessica doesn't want to be part of that, because who would? So after a drug-induced flashback revealing that doctors once tried to modify her mind so she'd never kill again, no idea through what method, she manages to escape the twins' little shop of horrors, finds another bad man, the boat captain who was paid off by the twins to lure her to them. I'm not sure how they knew she was coming. Then before she can slit his throat with a broken bottle, they're captured by minions of yet another bad man who is collecting slaves to mine uranium so he can buy his own country. They're attacked by genetically engineered monsters the twins sick on Jessica, who stole the Heat-16. Or didn't I mention that? Juco, that guy who set her up, hey, I spent my first 2 years of college at a Juco, gets his limbs ripped off, but everybody else escapes and Jessica's put into a slave mine. Westerland, the bad man who runs the operation, finds the Heat-16 on Jessica and plans to use it. Does any of this sound like an enjoyable read? So Jessica Priest is primed to save the whole world, and Angela just stopped the whole universe from destabilizing. Ever notice how Spawn never does anything remotely as important? Jessica has a recurring line going back to her childhood. I'll make you pay. Maybe the idea is people trying to play God and fix her or exploit her is what's kept her so insidious, that she has this general distrust of people that's constantly reinforced. So not only does she get off on killing, but she thinks everyone deserves to die, so there's a deeper satisfaction for her. I'm guessing, of course. There's not enough here to get a concrete reading on her or anyone else, and mostly this really is just a whole bunch of gratuitous blood and violence. These people are like Russian dolls. There's the evil one, then there's the eviler one, then the even eviler one, and the Mondo evil one, and our protagonist isn't even on the bottom of that group. You've got your themes of science gone awry, playing God, but we've been to these thematic places before and in Spawn comics. Well, there we go. Filled up a whole page and a half. All it took were some unnecessary adjectives and a lot of embellishment. Who knew all those papers I BS'd at JUCO would come in handy in a sugar coma? Signed, Captain Logan.